get started with, it's May the 4th, so of course, May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. And that's going to be the theme for our event, starting with this. Oh. All right. Those again. Thank you everyone for coming out today. My name is Brenton Craigs. I'll be your MC. I live here in Helena. I am the chair of the Lewis and Clark County Young Republicans here. So if anyone in between the ages of 18 and 40 or anyone slightly outside that range is looking to get involved with us and try to make a difference this election season, we'll be helping with pretty much any campaigns that we can. So come and talk with me afterwards. We have some great candidates here today, and as all of you know, I'm guessing many of you, probably most of you, have lived in Helena or in East Helena or in the Lewis and Clark County for a long time now. And because of that, all of you all know that it is typically a hard place for Republicans to win. Well, we just went through redistricting. We have some amazing candidates that are here that are wanting to run. And as you all know, people are struggling. Our entire country, our entire world is struggling right now. There's a lot of darkness in it. And that's why we need a group of brave rebels to rise up as we have here today. So again, may the 4th be with you, and let's get started. Quick reminders. Quick reminders. We have silent auction items at each of the tables that are labeled with various colors. Yellow is Rachel Burright, who's running for House District 80. Orange is Dustin Scott, who's running for House District 81. John Looney's are red, running for House District 82. And Wes Feist is blue, running for House District 83. We will we'll take a moment after each candidate introduces themselves to point out exactly where their auction items are, but we encourage you to take a look at the wonderful silent auction items that have been donated here. There are some really, really, truly great things. First and foremost, and we also have signups for door knocking. We have signups for the different candidates for their campaigns. We also are going to be trying to get people to help with some of the petitions that are going around, which again, come talk with us about later. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce our candidate for House District 81. She is a mother. She's hardworking. 80, excuse me. Thank you. It's been a long week. I don't know if all of y'all have been getting tired from all the political season already, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot, long past 4 years, shall we say. She's running for House District 80. She's hardworking. She's professional. She's a mother. And she's running for my district, and I can tell you I'm going to be doing the best that I can to support her. Let me introduce Rachel Burright.
Oh, welcome. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. We really appreciate you showing up and your support. So I'm running in House District 80, of course. When we look around, it's easy to be discouraged by what we see and the discrepancies between where our heart is and how we want to live and some of the policies that we see in our state and in our nation. But I am so excited to see all of your faces today, because this means that we have woken up and we're willing to face the problems, and we're willing to do it together. And that's what it takes to change this nation. That's what it takes to change this nation into what we really want it to be, to where our heart's at, to establish really good policies. We're going to restore this nation. There are many things that need to be resolved. Cleanups in our Constitution and in our laws are a big deal here. Putting teeth into the laws and having the legislature take back the authority that it has instead of delegating it to other organizations and positions that are not elected. We have to step up and do our job, and that takes every single one of us here. What I want to see, where my heart is to restore our families so that we can thrive again. We are all struggling. We spend the bulk of our days working tirelessly. And to what end? We need to be able to thrive. We need to be able to keep more of our money in our own pockets and not going to taxes. We need to be using our resources that we have in our state to open up opportunities and to provide some relief for each of us. So thank you for partnering with us today. I'm in District 80.
Thank you, Rachel Dorite. And once again, her silent auction items, which will go to help her campaign, are in the back with the yellow labels. She has some wonderful looking gift baskets back there, as well as just some great items. Strongly recommend you go back and take a look. Next up, we have a good buddy of mine who may or may not have contributed to the theme of this event today. He is the secretary for our Young Republicans. He is spent most of his life in Montana and many years here in Helena. He is the youngest candidate in this group, 29 years old, hardworking, does computer web design, technical support. He literally devotes his life to helping other people and those around him. He's a good buddy of mine, and I'm so incredibly proud of him stepping up and just putting forth the effort in this race. I know truly that the force is with him. I introduce House District 81 candidate running against Mary Cafaro, Dustin Scott.
All right, first things first, I just wanted to thank everyone for making the effort to come down. It may not look or feel like it, but events like this are the lifeblood of politics and getting involved. And the fact that you are here speaks volumes. My name is Dustin Scott, and I am running for House District 81, which is most of downtown Helena and a lot of the North Valley. My opponent, as was stated by my buddy Brenton here in this general election, is Mary Cafaro, who is a 20-year politician. And if you know that name, that you know we have an uphill battle for true conservative values and morals in the state legislature. So, who is Dustin Scott? Well, I'm a Montanan through and through. I grew up down in Hamilton, and I moved to Helena in 2016 to help support my sister so that she could go to college. And it was probably one of the best decisions that I ever made. Getting involved has helped me grow to see that we don't have to be frogs that are just stewing about in a warm pot that's just gradually heating up over time until we're dead. We have the power to do things for ourselves. We are the people, and I want to make my voice your voice. And I want to bring true conservative morals and values to the state legislature. And I can only do it with all of your help. All of us, all together, we can make Montana great again, honestly. And so I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. It really, truly means a lot. And I'm really excited to see how this goes. And let's go Republicans 2024.
make a lot of great Scott jokes, but unfortunately that's the wrong series for today. Mr. Dustin Scott's tables are over, again, have the orange coloring for the silent auctions. They have some wonderful wood-carved pieces that are just amazing, including a charcuterie board over here. And this is the one auction item that I will just point out because it's on a time crunch. There are tickets that are an auction item, silent auction item for Dustin, that are for the Swan Lake Symphony here in Helena tonight. There's 3 tickets for that. So if that is something that is going to need to go today, and make sure that if you bid on those, that you know that you can make it tonight. Next up, let's face it, if we're rebels, we're going to get in trouble at some point in time, and we could use a real bail bondsman to help us out. We have a gentleman here who's running for House District 82 who has an amazing business. He has the amazing limousine that y'all have seen driving around town and may have even transported some of you here. He's a father, he's hardworking, and he was involved with some of the legislation and involved with the legislature and conversations with even the governor's office last year. He's seen the successes and he's seen the failures. He's seen where reforms need to be made. May I introduce Mr. John Looney.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. My name is John Looney. Since you introduced the last person as the youngest, I'm glad you did the oldest. I didn't know. I'm pretty sure by looking around. I look around today, and what I see is families, I see children, I see friends, I see people that want change. The reason we're running together, there's 4 of us that are running together, is Helena's being taken over. If you don't believe that, ask some people that just moved here from Colorado or from someplace else and say, have you seen this before? They have. They've seen this before. It's a slow takeover. I grew up in Babb, Montana. I don't know if anybody knows where Babb is. About 44 miles north of Browning, right on the Canadian border. Went to school and then left Montana in 1993. 92, joined the Army. In my time in the Army, ended up getting out in Washington where I met my wife. 20 years, just about 20, well, we've been together a lot longer than that, but 20 years, and said, I'm tired of Washington, I can't do it, we got to get back to Montana. So we moved back to Montana. I'm so happy that my kids get to grow up in Montana. What I'm not happy about, what makes me mad, and makes me want to do this, is what Montana's turning into. I watched it during the last session. I'm watching it all over our state. We're getting taken over by left, slowly but surely. And the only way to fight this is for people to stand up and say, you know what? If you're not willing to answer the phone when you call your representative, if you're not willing to show up at the Capitol and do the job for the constituents that elected you, then get out of the way and let somebody in there that wants to do it. And that will do it for their constituents. And somebody that wants to protect Montana. But I don't know. Do we have a time limit? Because I can go on all day. Hey, I really appreciate all of you being here. Remember the reason we're here. This takes a lot of work. We need volunteers. We need your pocketbooks. And that's what this is about. Please help us out, because the only way we're going to shut them down is by getting rid of them in the general election. Thank you.
As a reminder, Mr. John Looney's table is in the back. The color red are for his silent auction items. He's got some amazing themed items for today, Star Wars, various Star Wars items. And I'll tell you, if no one else goes for that lightsaber, I'm taking that home. And I want to touch briefly on one thing that John said too as well. You know, we do not get a lot of support from the state or national parties. These are local candidates, local races. These are not their focus. These are not their support. We have a local central committee and various local Republican groups that work very hard to support all these candidates in whatever capacities they and their members can. But there's only so much that we can do. Many of our groups are coming to millions of events. not that many, but you know what I mean. We come to as many events as we can. They door knock, they volunteer in campaigns, they advise, they do what they can. But at the end of the day, it can wind up being the same people coming to everything over and over. That's why we need new volunteers. We need new people to get involved. Because let's face it, this economy is impacting all of us. This economy is impacting everybody. This government is impacting everybody. All of our lives have been upended. And so you got to ask yourself, are you ready to get off the bench and help with these candidates? That's something that you have to ask yourselves. Last but certainly not least, we have a gentleman who, like me, works in state government and has gotten a very good view of the issues that have arisen within it. He's a family man, he's a father, he's a Montanan. He's also the only one here that actually has a primary race. And he's just been a wonderful gentleman to work with these past few months. I really do wish him the best this next month in June, and I hope to continue working with him over the course of the rest of this year. I introduce Mr. Wes Feist, who's running for House District 83.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Wes Feist, and I am running for House District 83. This is the district that represents East Helena and South Helena, where I was born and raised. I'm a sixth-generation Montanan. My family's been in the Helena Valley for 150 years. I'm blessed for the support of my amazing wife. I cry a lot, so this might be hard for me to get through. Of my wife, my in-laws, my family, friends that are here today to support me, so thank you all very much. I'm running because it's important to be served by someone who lives in the district. I'm the only person running in House District 83, both primary and the general election, that actually lives in the district. It's also important to retire from state politics when your time has come. My general election opponent has been in the legislature for over 20 years, and I wish her well, hopefully, come November in her retirement. For the past 3.5 years, I've proudly served on the East Helena City Council to stay plugged into the community through school initiatives and programs, civic organizations, and the boards and committees on which I serve. In the city of East Helena, I've advocated for strong and responsible development, not putting the burden on our current residents. We focused on public safety with a new and strong police department, and it prioritized funding for clean water, dependable sewer, and open parks and lands for our residents. Some of the other involvement that I've had includes membership in the local economic development authority, and back the Helena Area Chamber of Commerce, the Montana Joint Community Forces Organization, representing veterans and their families, and previously the State Rehabilitation Council, supporting those going into employment for Montanans with disabilities. Otherwise, I have 20 years of work experience in the nonprofit and workforce development area and within program efficiency of the state government. Running for office has brought to me a focus on some key areas for House District 83. This includes freedom of education for students and families, long-term property tax reform that's needed for all of us, childcare and early childhood support programs as a pro-life candidate, and collaborative workforce development solutions that we can all agree upon. Thank you all so much for being here today, and I look forward to visiting with you. Do mark your calendars for the June 4th primary and the November 5th general election. And please vote for strong Lewis and Clark County legislative candidates that you see here today. If interested in hosting a yard sign or volunteering, my mom is back there helping, and we'd be happy to visit with you as well. Otherwise, please let me know if you have any questions, and really grateful for all of you to be here today. And my silent auction items are back in that back corner over there. Thank you so much for being here.
Very quickly, if you are the family member of the candidates, would you please either stand up if you're not standing up or raise your hand right now? Can we get a round of applause for everybody with their hand up, standing up for us? You all may not know it until you actually experience it, but these races are not just tough on the candidates. They're tough on their families. And it takes a lot for their families to just constantly go and support them every day, to be there for them, their candidate every day, to volunteer their time, to volunteer their hard work. And they receive every bit as much recognition as the candidates themselves do. It's because, frankly, many of the candidates could probably not even do it if they didn't have the support of their families. So please be sure to honor them, be sure to give them your thanks, and be sure to respect them all at all times. Always remember them. Quick reminder, as Wes reminded us, yes, the primary is coming up on June 4th and the general election on November 5th. If you have not registered to vote yet, do so. If you're interested in door knocking, you can talk to the candidates. We have sign-up sheets. We have information on how to sign up to volunteer on the candidates' campaigns. There will be other fundraisers and other events that will be coming up as well. We'll do our best to make sure to follow the candidates' social media pages. Make sure to follow the candidates and get in touch with their campaigns to keep in touch with what is happening over the course of the summer. This is, again, going to be very tough races. Anything in Lewis and Clark County, anything in Helena is going to be tough races. These candidates are going to very much need all the support that you can get. With that said, once again, and I do believe I almost forgot to mention, Wes Feist's silent auction items are in the back with the blue labels. He's got some, again, wonderful gift baskets and other items to bid on. Strongly recommend taking a look at them. We appreciate your time. We also get a big round of applause for Speakeasy 41 for hosting this event today. Make sure to tip your bartenders well. Enjoy the food. If you are interested in getting involved, don't be afraid to get up and ask questions and talk to people. And with that, may the 4th be with you.